Hello, 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 hello. Hey there, Svava Brooks here. If you are stopping by and watching this replay, thank you so much for checking it out. Like I said, Svava Brooks. I'm a trauma recovery coach, and I love to hang out here on YouTube Tuesdays and Thursdays, where I, with my fellow survivor thrivers, we are working our way through my book, Releasing Your Authentic Self. You can learn more about my coaching services on my website, svavabrooks.com, where I love to empower my fellow survivors with the tools that we need to heal and restore. I do believe we all come fully equipped with everything that we need, and in community with other people, coaches or therapists or peers, we find our way back to using the tools and remembering who we are, our authentic self. So love to talk about that. But if you're here with me live right here, right now, please say hello. Please let me know that you're here so I can welcome you. Glad to be here with you. We always start with come as you are, check in. Especially right now, we always start with checking in ourselves and share from there. If you're needing some extra support, glad to offer some suggestions. And my kitty cat is coming up for a visit, I think. Hey, Jay, how are you, my friend? And then today we are going to talk about stepping out of our comfort zone. Healing is all about stepping out of our comfort zone, isn't it? Trying something new does not always feel comfortable, does it? So Penny, what you gonna do? You gonna come up or visit? Or you gonna stay down there? He's been fighting for my chair all day. Every time I stand up, there he is. There he is. How are you doing today, EJ? How are you? Glad to see you. Don't mind me being distracted by my cat. He's circling my chair. It's just a matter of time before he jumps up here. So, but here from Portland, Oregon today, I can see the sun is setting already a little bit. It's been kind of cold, but the last few days have been incredibly productive. Gotten some work done. I've taken good care of this body. Got it moving. Drinking a lot of water. And looking forward to hanging out with you guys. So, like I said, we start with where you are at and the topic of discussion today. Right? Once we create a safe place for ourselves, right? The healing journey starts always, always, always by doing our best to create some sense of safety. Some safe, I can't even speak. Sense of safety in our bodies, right? For so many of us, because of trauma, neglect, abuse, feeling unsafe in our bodies because of the overwhelm of the energy feelings that may be still living in there because perhaps you didn't get the support that you needed to process and to release and to understand, to make sense of things when things happened. So it is important that we find a way to make sense, help the body to downregulate, to access and activate the parasympathetic, the part of the nervous system that helps us to rest and digest. And when we access that part, that's the place we can start to learn and try new things. And yes, in the beginning, it does not feel safe. We worked so hard keeping it safe, right? That when we finally get there, it's like, why in the world do I want to rock the boat? Why the heck do I want to step out of my comfort zone? All right, EJ, thanks for letting me know. Hey, Rob. Troubleshooting, video interruptions. All right, that's good. I actually was noticing this morning, I was doing a Zoom call with a colleague actually in Europe, and I was having a very, it kept showing me that my signal was low. So could be on my end, but don't know. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. So I did watch a recording that I did earlier and it looked okay. So the Euro crew, yes, 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 yes. I keep thinking about that, right? Since and because of COVID, right? And we're going to talk about that, right? Doing something out of our comfort zone, trying something new. I have a couple things that I'm sharing with you guys because it's an ongoing journey. It's an ongoing thing. And just like I started with, when we feel like we've finally figured out how to keep this safe, right? I finally figured out where I end and you begin. I'm not going to rock this boat. I'm not going to go try anything new. I'm not going to go meet new people. I'm just going to keep it here and keep it here and keep it here. So it works for a while, but I do feel like this organism, this body, I just realized I've spilled water all over myself. We are meant to learn and grow and evolve. And I think that's part of our, what brings, fulfillment to our lives is the constant exploration and learning. Hey, Lynn. Hey, friend. Good to see you. Hey, Lady Leo. How are you guys? Good to be here with everybody. Just starting with a check-in. And I just want to say I love the flowers here, Rob. Love it. Love it. That's right. Just sponges with legs. Yes. And I am a firm believer that we continue to be sponges with legs. We are a little saturated, right? Sometimes we need to wring out some of the old stuff to make room for new. I'm building on your visual here. That we continue to be sponges. We aren't taking things in as fast, but we continue. We continue to learn and grow. And that is actually what's good for our minds, good for our muscles, good for our bodies, good for so many of our systems, is to learn something new. I think is what really is slow death for so much of us is the stagnation and the freeze. And when we decide we're done, we're not. We're meant to be fluid. We're meant to, like our breath, expand and contract, expand and contract. Lynn, fungus with legs, take your pick. All right, I'm taking sponges over fungus. That's great, Lynn. It's great to have you back, Lynn. I don't know if you guys watched last week's our last live stream. That was pretty funny how we wrapped that one up on the end there with the perfect card. So yeah, it does. It sure does. Sure does. Hey, Lady Leo, you just went for a 40-minute run? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad you're both home safe and sound. Oh, I'm sorry, EJ. I'm so sorry. I hope you can at least hear us. So you were driving around looking for him and he had found his way back home. That's sometimes a good strategy too, but I know it is definitely can give us some anxiety when our pets are out there. It's not maybe the pets we don't trust, it's other people who might get them into trouble. Okay, friends, don't have the patience for missing 3 words in a sentence and then trying to figure out, yeah, I hear you. That can be frustrating. I hear you, friend. Well, I'm glad you're here and that you tried. And I saw your comment. Can I share your comment? It's okay if you say no. We celebrate no's here. So, he's all black, so I couldn't see him. He lost his coat. Man, he lost his coat, says Lady Leo. That's frustrating. That's frustrating, but I'm glad he's back and safe. And you didn't need him to be gone much longer. Yes, the good old advice. Try shutting it off. Try to restart the computer. Try to hit it hard against something. All those classic rebooting samples. Hitting a little bit, smacking it around, like knocking the computer. Like we used to do the old television. You jumped on the phone, same thing. I'm sorry. Yes, exactly, Lynn. All our techie experts over here. All our tech experts. There you go, Lady Leo. You told him, right? Yeah, not paying him another coat. Oops, speaking of. No, my computer just did something. So there's something going on for all of us here. Let's hope it doesn't decide to reboot me here in the middle of a live stream. I'm sorry, friend. I'm sorry about that. Well, we know you tried. We know you tried. So, and you are with us in spirit. For sure. The 2 questions that I asked in our group this week, right? Part of healing and changing after finding those safe places is to explore taking risks or, setting goals or doing new things that maybe in the past we found to be too risky or too overwhelming. It's time, right? It's time. And healing is the most courageous thing that you will ever sign up for. And I tell, all my clients, it takes a lot of courage. And you are courageous for choosing this. And a lot of them, don't like to think of myself as courageous and ignore the cats running around here behind me. But I call our willingness to try, our willingness to start, our willingness to put one foot in front of the other. Willingness is courage undercover. All it takes is willingness to show up, to start. And for some of us, that was me too, kicking and screaming, showing up to group. I'm here. I don't really want to be here. But I know this is good for me. Yeah, these cats are gonna, they're starting a fight. So if something goes sideways here, I'm blaming it on those two. So back to our topic. What is something new you'd like to try this month, or something new you perhaps have tried this month? You could even look at it the whole year. What is something new you tried this year? Something that you had put off or didn't for whatever reason. And the other question is, what is something new you'd like to try this week? So please feel free to share. I would love to hear from you. Lynn, yes. The greater the risk, the greater the reward. But think long and hard about what you're willing to wager. I get it. I get it. I'm sorry, EJ. I'm sorry. I don't like technical problems either. Like, that's especially for someone where this is how I do my work. Don't like it. Don't like it. My backup plan is that I have the cable from the box to my laptop. Sometimes I do the ground in. So when the Wi-Fi is iffy, but I don't know if all you guys can hardwire your computers in. Anyways, yes, it was nice to see you for a little bit. Thanks for being here. Better to venture forth in fear and perish on the blade than to have never gone forward at all. I hear you, Len. I hear you. Who else feels that way or not? And here's the thing, right? For a long time, I didn't know that I was so adverse to trying new things. Right? And then I started to be more open once I realized, like, so much of my personality and habits and thoughts was so related and connected to my strategy to survive, right? And then once I started to learn, okay, I learned to be this way. I'm a textbook example of an adult that didn't get their needs met as children, or was encouraged or supported, which I know I'm not the only one who has had that in the past. But once I started trying things, finding that little like piece of courage to like, oh gosh, what if? I'm just gonna jump in there and give it a try. And then few little experiences, weren't so bad after all. And that's kind of where, this year has definitely been incredibly hard on many, many levels. But this has also been the year for me where I'm like, okay, what else have I told myself that I couldn't do? I've explored and done things because of COVID, right? We are all stuck at home. So we're doing things, maybe learning new things and being exposed to things because here we are, right? That we hadn't or wouldn't have been. So yeah, I mean, I've shared very openly with you guys exploring art this year has just been kind of a mind-blowing experience, for me, which now gives me so much joy. And that also has, because for so many years I told myself that, no, you're not an artist. No, you can't do those things. That's not you. And I also know, I'm just thinking, and actually I pulled out this book, The Gifts of Imperfection, because I think it's very much related. That one of the reasons why I didn't try a lot of things, because it was going to be an imperfect process, right? And it felt risky, because trying something new and knowing that I couldn't do it perfectly. No, not trying that, not doing that. So I love that, Lady Leo. Yes, Rob says, I think of how scary using a diving board was as a kid, but after that first daring dive, it was again and again. I loved it. I loved it. Yes, Rob. Yes. There you go, Lynn. See? That's how the universe works. Sometimes, right, we don't always catch ourselves saying those things, because often when we're speaking, we're actually talking to ourselves. So I have caught myself with my clients when I'm offering up suggestions, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I should be doing that. But I also think it kind of keeps us in check, right? Is that I try to be very mindful of not giving advice that I'm not following myself. So that's how I keep myself in integrity. Wait a minute. Nope. Can't suggest that. I'm not doing that myself. So yeah. Working on a written piece for one of our peers. There you go, Lynn. Well, that's how it starts, Rob. You start jumping off the low board, and then you move on up higher. Moved on up higher. Yes, the universal law of balance. Yes, Lynn. Yes, Lady Leo, I hear you. I hear you, my friend. I hear you. But I do believe at some point it catches up with us. Catches up with us. And actually, speaking of doing new things, I don't think it's a new thing, but it's a new experience for me. I'll share later. But I am, you won't jump upside. I climbed down the ladder. You are funny, Lady Leo. So let's see here. From our group, Lady Leo shared with us, it would be hard for me to pinpoint what I'd like to do new this month or week. So I'll speak on what I'd like to try new for the current season I'm in. I would like to continue to share my story publicly. However, it requires me to release the self-doubt and fears of speaking publicly. Taking deep breaths, utilizing the tools of healing I've been given, and utilizing the support of encouragement I have to lean on, even as my voice cracks and my knees shake. Amen, Lady Leo. That's it, my friend. That is exactly how you do it. You keep breathing deeply. Do your best to feel your feet on the ground. And don't think about how many people might hear you. Just think about the one person in front of you. I'm just having a conversation with one person or two people or three people, right? So it gets easier, but it's also, I used to say, how we release the shame, how to release the burden. That's so much also what was put on us with the harm that was done to us wasn't even ours. That when we tell our stories, we also set free the energy, right? That has kind of held us hostage. And a lot of that is shame. And shame, right? That's what we love about Brene Brown, right? Is the shame research that she does, right? What's underneath perfection? Shame is where in the driver's seat, fear in the passenger seat. And who's the backseat driver? Some version of that. I may be mixing it up. So the more you tell your story, that your truth, the more you release your energy, your fear, your guilt, your shame, and a lot of it wasn't even yours. Awesome, Lady Leo. In the trunk hiding. I hear you, friend. I hear you. But you have such a great way with words. You are a writer, my friend. You can share your poems or your stories that you've written, and you speak so beautifully about your healing journey. Trust me, my friend, there are people out there waiting for you to share your story. Your voice, your story is the key that's going to unlock the healing journey for other people. I just know it. I just know it. Lynn says, you come for a family dinner, you would think we dislike each other, just passionately communicating. There you go, Rob. That's right. That's right. You're welcome, Lady Leo. And it's noticeable. And I'm going to just share here, Lady Leo, because I listened to that interview that you did with, was it Dr. Lori? And I just had this huge smile on my face while you were speaking. And just my heart was singing for you. And what I loved about your focus, and that's, how do I say this? When I know someone has kind of shifted, is that you started focusing on the healing, right? So much of which is understandable. And we need to talk about being a victim, how we were victimized, the impact of being a victim. All of that is very important conversation. Don't take it wrong, but it's more important that we focus on the healing journey. How did I make, how did I heal? What did I shift? How did I put the pieces together? And I heard you, Lady Leo, you kept bringing the focus there, and she kept wanting to hear about your victim story, and you were focusing on your healing story. And it was just, I was so proud of you, Lady Leo, because that's, like I said, a more important message in terms of people. We are confused, right? It's like, how do I heal? How do I make that? How do I connect the dots? And so the more people that can speak to that, this is how, this is what I did. So that's where, right, we are, yes, we are connecting with people with similarities with the past of what we've been through. But that's been what I have found, what really empowers people, right? To show them the steps forward. Yes, she is. Wanda is a good dot connector. Yes, exactly, Lady Leo. Exactly. And I don't know if you guys, it's been a while since I've told you guys that. It's like that was when I knew the shift was happening. I was powerless over the past, but I had the power in taking responsibility for who I am and how I want to live my life from this moment moving forward. There is the power in my choices. There isn't the power of like making the change for me from the inside out, right? So yes, focus on that. There is plenty of what's going on right here, right, that wants to focus on the past and the things that we can't change. So I was super excited when I heard that. And I'm like, yes, you go, Lady Leo. The world needs to hear you. So Rob shares with us the 2 lockdowns, right, in the UK right now. 2 lockdowns meant most of this year, my gradual growth was stalled. I'd been on a definite upward trend, meeting new people and venturing on trips out to push me out of my comfort zone. And it feels like that comfort zone has shrunk. So I need to be confident to pick up where I was before COVID. So I had been working up to feeling comfortable eating in a restaurant or going in a coffee shop. I ate out a few times, but I was not comfortable, self-conscious, and imagining people looking and judging. So my weekly thing would be to have a regular coffee or a meal in public. I guess monthly aim is more alluding to a nourishing routine. So I would like to join a gym or an outdoor hobby group, maybe walking, exercise, and group socializing. Beautiful, Rob. Very beautiful. Lots of great awareness. I hear you, my friend, right? A lot of us had all kinds of plans for this year, and all those plans were put on hold because of restrictions, social distancing, isolation, lockdown, and then, you know, some grief, some loss, right, this year. So it's been a toughie. Certainly been a toughie. So thank you, Rob. Thank you so much for sharing that. I hear you, I see you, and I see you, like the awareness that you have. And I do hope that you continue to venture out in your own way and finding some people to hang out with, because you are delight to be with, delight to hang out with. Yes, I hear you. I hear you, Rob. I hear you. And you had a very personal loss yourself this year. That's hard. It's hard. Let's see here. I'm catching up. Evolved, maybe a stretch. Yes, you are. You are making huge progress, my friend. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. That's right. I couldn't agree with you more, Lynn. Couldn't agree with you more. We need more males like you, Rob. So he's a troublemaker. Well, I know he's on his best behavior when I'm around, and I appreciate it, but I love our silliness. I love that we have plenty of laughter around here. It's so important. You are very, very welcome, Lady Leo. I am happy to walk with you when you are in your murky middle, that messy middle. We sometimes can get stuck in it. So we all need someone that throws us that rope and pulls us out when we're in it. So happy to do that for you, Lady Leo. Happy to do that. And I know you're paying it forward. Absolutely. I know you are. You are very, very welcome, Rob. Very welcome, my friend. Love to celebrate you. You are such an amazing human, delightful human. I hear you. You two together. Yeah. You two troublemakers. You two are funny. I hear you, Lady Leo. I hear you, my friend. But see, here you are. A year later, lots happened. You come a long ways, my friend. And that's all on you because you committed to doing this work, showing up, even when you didn't want to. Even though I don't like what she's saying, I'm gonna be here, I guess. I'm gonna listen. See, I warned you. I'll wear you out. I wear you down. So, hey, Minnie. Hey, friend. Glad you're here with us. There you go. There you go, Lynn. Love it. It's a God-given talent, right? And who are you not to use that talent? Who are you to not use that talent? Oh my goodness, you guys are funny. You are funny. So, I don't know if you guys noticed the quote that I posted for us in the Journey to the Heart today, but just to put it out there, right? The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. That's Joseph Campbell. And follow that with a quote from Brene Brown, right? Choose courage over comfort. Choose whole hearts over armor. And choose the great adventure of being brave and afraid at the exact same time. And choose the great adventure of being afraid and brave at the exact same time. I love that so much, right? Because I think that's what life is all about. Paradox. It isn't either or, black or white, this or that. It's both and, right? So that's a note or something, a note to self that I keep in front of myself a lot, right? The thing in the cave. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. So now when that fear comes up, I wonder why. I wonder why. Is it, right? Look around. Is it real or imagined? Is it real or imagined fear? And what is it trying to protect me? What is it trying to protect me from? Why do I need protecting? And most of the time, it's trying to keep me safe from rocking the boat, from going out there. What if people won't like it? What if it's not perfect? What if they figure out that I don't know it all, that I don't have my shit together, or that I don't maybe really know what I'm talking about, you know, whatever that means. So, has the biggest monster guarding the gate. Keep a few treats in your pocket to bribe it. Yes. Well, as you guys know, I am all about befriending it. If they don't like it, the more effective. Yes. Well, lately, right, I noticed the fear. Not just lately, notice the fear in my body, notice the sensation, becoming aware of my body, because that's usually where it first comes. There's something in my body sensing that's unsafe. And so I get curious about where is it in my body? How can I understand it better? Almost like a friend, befriend it. Interesting. Why do you think I need protecting? Why are you here? What would happen? What do you think would happen if you didn't protect me? And then, like, how long have you been doing this? How long have you been holding this belief, thinking that I needed protecting? And then usually I'll find the underlying fear, or because it's a distorted belief, right? That there's something wrong with me, right? That had to be something wrong with me, or I wouldn't have been hurt the way I was if I'd been good enough, right? So we get to revisit some of those things when we step out of our comfort zone. Some of those old fears come back to visit. It's like, no, what are you doing? Wow. You must really think this is unsafe. So, and just like I shared with you guys earlier, the more we kind of take a look at and seeing where the fear comes from, because that part of our brain that holds the emotional connection to the event that happened, it doesn't know if it's real or imagined. It doesn't have a timestamp. But now in this body, in this present moment, I have the capacity. I've been working hard at building my windows, and strengthening and widening my window of tolerance, being able to be present with my body as I'm curious about the inner workings of my minds and my emotions. Oh, Lady Leo. right? It's okay to feel fear. You just don't want it to swallow you up. Yes. So that's it. Like, turn towards yourself, become curious and curious and curious and curious. I wonder why my body does that. I wonder why my nervous system does this. I wonder why. I'm curious. Good for you, Rob. Good for you, Rob. Right? The mental reenactment of conflicts is a pointer to descending into depression, right? Depression is, it's powerlessness, right? When we spiral down that into that, it's like nothing I do or say will make a change or will change. And we tap into historical evidence, right? And the historical evidence goes way into often childhood. It's like, see, there it is. There's the evidence. There's the truth. You're always wrong. You're always bad. You're always guilty. You're always shameful. So it's like, no, I can feel fear. I can feel the discomfort, but I am going to question it now. I'm going to be curious about it because I know for a long time, because of the chronic tension pattern and fears that were held in my body, was projection. I was projecting. It was the filter, the view of how I saw the world, the people, and what was mirrored back to me. It was all because of the filter and the glasses that I was wearing. So as I started pulling those glasses down and really seeing how things looked like, right? And actually, I was just doing, I continued to make the audio recordings for the Journey to the Heart. And in one of them, I was talking about how for a while, once I started to realize what was distorted in my thinking and my viewing of myself and other people, I kept doing reality checks. I would have people that I trusted, my peers and, my therapist and my partner. I would like, I just want to run this by you. This is what I'm experiencing. This is what I think. This is what happened. Am I right? Or is this my inner child? Or is this my fear speaking? And so it helped that I, for a long time, was willing to really question what I was experiencing. And I continued to do that, especially if there was uncertainty inside of me, if I wasn't sure, until I learned to trust myself enough to decide for myself instead of getting this reality check bouncing off of other people, what I was thinking and feeling. So fear makes otherwise mythical, normal people do shit that can make them look bad, crap, crazy. Trust me. I hear you, Lynn. I hear you. Yep. It helps me to ask myself, is this the adult Wanda that is fearful or one of my younger parts? And a lot of times recently, it's actually the adult. Great awareness. Great awareness. Yeah. And then you can engage with that adult part and ask, what does it need? Right? Because there's also an adult part inside of all of us, right? That knows your inherent truth, your goodness, who is kind and loving and generous and trusting, that knows the truth. And when you tap into that, That's where, right, we self-soothe from that place. The part that's connected to source or God or spirit or universe or the trees, whatever you believe in. Yes. Yes, Rob, thank you. My adult needs to have a big, giant toddler temper tantrum. I hear you, Lynn. I hear you. And it's okay to express those temper tantrum emotions. It's okay to have the full spectrum, right? But what's not okay if we hurt ourselves or others in the process, right? That's where our loving, kind, generous, higher self can come in and say, I hear you. Of course you're feeling this way. It's okay to feel this way. But what's not okay is to harm yourself or others, right? Healing the inner child actually manifests the new adult living without the effects of the trauma. Bingo, Lady Leo. Yes, when we become the parent and the protector that we needed, right? You got it, Lady Leo. That's how we develop the adult part. The wholehearted, trusting, grounded, compassionate, wise self. Exactly. Because inside of us is that part who has not been impacted of the trauma, by the trauma. I hear you. I hear you, Lady Leo. And I hear you, Lynn. I'm sorry. I hear you, Lynn. I hear you. And when we have those meltdowns, do our best. Exactly. Do our best to not judge ourselves, to not be hard on ourselves, but to be kind towards ourselves, right? When we can be kind towards ourselves, we separate ourselves from being it all in one soup. So like when you turn love onto your inner child, you have separated yourself from this is the child, this is you. There's space between, right? There's connecting to and being with. Yes, I hear you. It is a very delicate balance. It is. It is. So thank you so much for sharing that with us, Lady Leo, because that's when we share our healing process, when we share, right, that the steps you took, the things you've done, and that, yes, it took, what, a year? It took a year, and hence, right, all my books, 365 days, daily guide. It was a daily practice, a daily practice. I'm the parent now. I'm the parent now. I'm the parent and the protector. Yes, I hear you. Yes, I hear you. Yes, I hear you're angry. Yes, I hear you're upset. You have every right to be upset. But I'm the parent now. I'm choosing to be the parent and the protector. I am choosing day by day by day, week by week by week by month, until one day, so wait a minute, I can feel that part now. I can feel the rage, but I'm not swept up by it. I created a space from it. This is me, and this is just my energy, the feeling of anger, of rage moving through my system, right? So, well, and here's the thing, Lynn. I had to be loving and firm with myself and my parts, my wounded inner parts, my inner children, my inner teenager, my young adult self. Loving and firm, loving and firm. Yes, yes, Lady Leo. High five, my friend. Yes. And this is where we get to know like what love, true love, I say, feels like and sounds like, because, right, it's because of the love for ourselves that we're willing to do this work, right? This little girl who's lived inside of me, hurting and alone for so long. I'm like, no, baby girl, I am here now. I am here now. Can't stand the little brats turn 18. Well, and that's the thing, Lynn, right? I hear you. They want to be seen and heard. They want to be seen and heard, and they're testing you. They're testing us. They're testing us, right? If I'm as bad as I think I am, you're not going to want to come back and check in on me. If I'm just as ugly and as, hateful and angry, I'm going to scare you away. You're not going to want to come back in here and connect with me. I'm as bad as you thought I was. You're as, like they have that to prove. And I was like, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to love you no matter what. Nothing you can say or do will make me stop loving you. I have told myself that more than anyone else. I've told myself that more than my own children. I needed to hear that. My inner child, the whole tribe needed to hear. No matter what you say or do, I will not stop loving you. And I had to show up. I had to show up and show up and show up and show up. And it wasn't so much about me doing anything, but just being there. The same way I longed for someone seeing me as a little girl. Can someone just see that I'm hurting? Can someone just be willing to sit with me? Don't come here and point me and tell me what I'm doing wrong or how I'm bad. Just be with me. Just come and sit with me. It works, my friends. It works. Slowly but surely. And then over time, then they would interact with me, and then I would ask them, right? Why do you keep pushing me away? What is it that you want me to know? What is it that you want me to know? And I know in the beginning, I was a little afraid of them too, because they were big and scary and had a lot of really big feelings that I didn't know how to feel. But slowly over time, I said, I'm here. Like, why is it that you think you're so bad? I really want to know. And what is it that I am doing today that makes you think you are this way, or that makes you feel this way? Because I had to take responsibility that I had picked up some of the harmful thinking and the self-harming behavior Like I had picked up where the other people left off. So I was continuing the self-loathing and the self-hate, and that this little part of me was feeling the hate. It was feeling not being wanted. It was feeling not being wanting to be, no one wants to be with me. No one wants to see me. No one cares about me. I'm sorry, friends, if this is intense. This is Svava cutting to the chase, okay? This friend is going right to the heart of the matter. And I also know, my friend, that you sitting here listening, inside of you is a little boy or a little girl that is listening to my words right now. I hear you, Lady Leo. It is real, because that's also how I felt for a long time. I did. And I don't mind putting these things into words, because no one had told me this. I didn't hear this from other people. It was slowly when I started healing that I'm like, okay, is it, and I was helping other people that I would share my inner experience, and they would be like, that's how it felt. I thought it was just me. I thought I was crazy. I thought I was the only one. I thought I was broken or stupid or evil, or this anger is like not okay. I hear you, Lynn. I hear you, Lynn. And right, the more, this is it, friends, the more we share how we are healing, because we all have bodies. Our nervous systems are the same, right? How our body responds is the same. How our brain works is the same. How our hormones is the same. Yes, we all have different environments that we were put into that influenced, our interpretation and the chemical makeup and some of the thinking and the feeling and the experiences. But how we can help our bodies to heal, right? Once we understand the inside, how it all works, we can choose to take this organism and put it into a different environment. And a lot of the different environment that we're looking to put these bodies into is us. How we treat ourselves needs to change, because that's the toxic environment. But I know sometimes, right, it happens right under our eyeballs. We don't see it. We've been swimming in this water for so long. We don't know. But then when we take ourselves out of this environment and slowly recognize, okay, I'm not gonna speak to me this way. Okay, now back to the sponges and the fungus. That's right, Lynn, we've come full circle. Thank you, Lady Leo. She says, that's what made me stay, because you were the first person that spoke about healing that made me say, wow, someone else felt or treated themselves like that and is now happy and productive. She gets it. Thank you, Lady Leo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is exactly why I do what I do, why I share my journey of hope and healing. Because if this body can do it, and so much of how our bodies heal is by hanging out with other bodies that are doing it differently. Trying to. Yes, I hear you, Minnie. I hear you. I hear you. And the hardest part, right, is to really understand the part that is resisting the change. It's like, no, don't change. Don't do it. It's like creating that inner battle inside of us. It's like, that's the part we need to turn to the first. It's like, wow, you have done such a beautiful job protecting me. You are doing an amazing job keeping me safe, and have for a long time. I'm really curious why you're here and why you took on this job, right? What are you protecting? What's going to happen if you don't do your job of resisting? What's going to happen? Because I'm a grown-up now. I'm not 8 years old or 6 or 4 or 2. I am willing to take responsibility, take on the burden that you have about protecting me. I'm ready to do this. I am grown up, ready, willing, and able. So how can we work together? How can I help you see and learn to trust me so you can let go of this job? Because you're not helping us. You're getting in the way of our healing, and you're hurting our home, this body, because it's just creating stress inside this body. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Rob. We've gone over our time, my friends. This is, as you guys know, where I get very passionate and do my best to not overwhelm people, but this is like what my life force, my juices just get flowing. I get excited about helping other people understand themselves. Yes, you got it. And of course, we got a perfect card. I need the glasses. I know, Lynn, you gotta watch last week's live stream. It was hilarious. One day she woke up and decided to love herself more than she ever thought possible. Who needed this reminder? Right, friends? This is it. And this is it. This is the bottom line, my friends. Yes, exactly, Rob. Sweet, sweet friends. Fall in love with you. Fall in love with the healing process and learning, you know, to get to know you and what makes your heart sing. So, thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. As always, love being here with you. I do love being with you. All right, Lady Leo. Yes, Minnie. I believe in you guys wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. So we got this. Thanks for the thumbs up, my friends. That helps me to reach more people. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. Good night, and I'll be back here on Thursday. Until then, have a good week. Be gentle with yourselves. Bye, friends.